Hello, Stargazer, and welcome to Stargazer University. My name is Jasmine Brianna Ellison, and I wholeheartedly believe that the definition of self-mastery is winning the war between your mind, body, and soul. For this reason, I have created Stargazer University, and on this channel, what I do is I share the weapons that I have found on my journey. Do you belong in this class? Okay, take your seat. Come on, everybody, take your seats. Get into a calm, cool, and collected place because class is about to begin. Here we are in the mind category, and here we will study topics from an analytical point of view, really digging deep into our critical thinking. The first topic we are exploring in our mind category is emotions, and we will look at emotions through the lenses of science, anthropology, philosophy, and psychology. In today's lesson, we will be studying emotions. There will be a general introduction of emotions, and then we will move into our first lesson, which is emotions through the lens of science. Guys, my lighting kept getting messed up. Honestly, there's been a lot of things with these introductions that have got messed up, guys. Like, I was supposed to be looking like a whole sexy librarian, and I also was supposed to memorize these intros, but I put so much energy into this, and I was like, I can't get all dressed up. I can't do it, and I can't memorize more words. I can't do it. And also, I really want to dress up as like a sexy librarian for like my husband. And I feel like if I do that on YouTube, like, it kind of defeats the purpose. I don't have a husband yet, so I think that's why it defeats the purpose. Not trying to jinx myself. But anyways, guys, I do want to share a couple things about these lessons, about Stargazer University in general. I just want to let you guys know that these lessons are very packed with information. They are short, but they are very, very detailed. So I say that to say that I created every single one of these lessons with objectives, focus questions, and even time to reflect. So although I myself love listening to things on YouTube passively while I'm doing things, and I myself am a kinesthetic learner, so I actually learn while I'm doing things, I would advise that if you want to get the most out of these lessons, that you do get a journal or some type of notebook in order to take notes or to just do whatever it is that you do to learn. These are learning tools. They're not just things that you listen to and just take information from quickly. Like, it's just not going to work like that. So if you really want to take the most from these, it would be important that you take it as a learning experience and not just a viewing experience. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this because I'm very excited to share these with you guys, but I did just want to give that little bit of disclaimer in order to make sure that you guys are getting the most out of all of this stuff that I put together for you guys, okay? All right, we're going to jump right into it. Emotions are relics of the soul that have lived on earth before human life. They are the collaboration of soil and seed, marriage between masculine and feminine, connection between mentor and teacher, and lifeline between parent and child. They are the North Star that will guide future generations, yet we struggle to understand them. This begins with our incapability to differentiate between emotions and feelings. Emotions include feelings, moods, thoughts, some personality traits, and much, much more. They are a state of mind derived from external circumstances such as environment and relationships. Since our state of mind can be changed with our thoughts, emotions can be controlled. However, feelings are uncontrollable reactions to our current state of mind. They are physiological responses to our inner emotions. For example, to feel tired, bored, anxious, aroused, overwhelmed, thoughtful, or even relaxed. The common confusion between emotions and feelings causes us to address our feelings rather than the underlying emotions, and this causes our feelings to become even more uncontrollable. To understand this better, we can think of the basic emotions, happiness, sadness, disgust, fear, surprise, and anger as the primary colors, and feelings as the mixture of those colors. There are millions of other variations of primary colors, just as there are with the basic emotions. For example, one may see primary blue and Egyptian blue and call them both blue. Both colors are now working factors in the phenomenon of blue, but each hold their own separate identity and meaning. In the same context, One may experience sadness and describe this feeling as tired or sluggish. Artists often mix the primary colors until they discover new colors that effectively express their emotions. Whether these colors be an actual form of paint, oil pastel, or watercolors, or the combination of sounds or words, the result is always relatable content and global empathy. Audiences feel inspired when they see beautiful art, vindicated when they hear talented musicians sing songs of infidelity, relieved when a blogger pens a post about their weight struggle, and even proud when reality stars accomplish a goal or find love. We listen to others' accounts of emotions in the grunginess of the blues, the quickened clacks from Irish step dancers, and the melodic chanting of indigenous tribes. Music of oppression, love, fear, and loss sound differently to each ear, but the feelings touch us deep inside all the same. Yet, when we see a sad stranger in the grocery store, we turn the other way. Friendly coworkers tend to make us feel uncomfortable, and crying babies are utterly annoying when they are not our own. We can comprehend emotions artistically, yet we often fail to comprehend them socially. Why is the phenomenon of emotion so hard to acknowledge socially? With social constructs such as race, gender, and stereotypes, it seems impossible to believe that there is a commonality of emotions. These social constructs fool us into believing a man could never understand what it is like for a woman to abort a pregnancy. An Italian mother couldn't possibly understand the lynching of an African American woman's child. Or a gay man just can't relate to the experience of a woman who becomes pregnant from a sexual assault. The average person often struggles to find the correct words, sounds, shapes, or colors to express their emotions. The words needed to find commonality and build equitable societies escape minds and lay helpless in the dark abyss of throats everywhere. A majority of persons choose to be silent audience members rather than active creators in society as a result. So what's the secret? How do those artists find the words, colors, and sounds to convey emotions and create social awareness, conversations, and change? To understand this secret, first we must understand the phenomenon of emotions. By beginning a broad but reasonably detailed examination of emotions with brief lessons in science, anthropology, philosophy, and psychology. The objectives of this course are to understand the phenomenon and physiological responses of emotions, identify the usefulness of emotions in the human body, identify the usefulness of emotions in society, identify, analyze, and convey individual emotions, and acknowledge global commonality of emotions. And the questions we will focus on in these lessons are: how do emotions show up in nature? How do emotions show up in the human body? Are emotions useful? Do emotions threaten society? And can we control our emotions? Our first lesson is in science. We will begin with a quote of inspiration by Isaac Asimov. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. The objection of this lesson is to understand the phenomena and physiological responses of emotions by analyzing nature. The questions we will focus on in this lesson are: how do emotions show up in nature, and how do emotions show up in the human body? Emotions are not just a human phenomenon. They are seen in the natural order of species of all types. For example, animals have been documented becoming stressed and anxious in times of danger, or depressed in times of fear and sorrow. Since animals cannot express their feelings verbally, these emotions can be seen in other behaviors, such as singing, laughing, and crying. By studying animals' physiological responses to emotions, it helps us understand our own physiological responses to emotions. For example, love songs are not a human creation. From the humming grunts of the toadfish to the ultrasonic serenades of mice, for ages, animals have used song to attract mates. However, these songs are not just scientific mating tools. They are composed and performed with personality and feeling. For instance, although all male mice sing to attract mates, some male mice are more charismatic than others, and their flirtatious nature leads to more mates. Additionally, Mexican free-tailed bats sing songs to attract females. But when they are rejected, their hopeful tunes turn to sorrowful melodies. Overall, these romantic concepts, desire for love or being rejected by love, are not an isolated human experience and help us understand our own need to write and perform romantic melodies. Additionally, the process of combining rhythms and melodies is very sophisticated, and performing together builds inclusive social constructs. For example, a group of male Pacific tree frogs is called a chorus. Melodies and rhythms are organized, and one dominant male is assigned to lead the chorus, while the subordinate males follow. These choruses are not executed to communicate information, but rather to express emotions and achieve social cohesion. This example helps us understand our own need to express emotions and desire for social inclusion. Furthermore, it is also undeniable that animals exhibit laughter. Researcher Jack Panksepp found rats who are tickled bond to the researcher and will even seek out tickles in the future. Additionally, female chimpanzees will occasionally tickle themselves for a pleasurable pick-me-up. This is because laughter affects the chemical state of the brain by releasing a neurochemical dopamine. Acting as a natural drug, this release is a physical feeling of pleasure or joy. On the flip side, animals have also been documented to cry in times of pain, distress, or sorrow. For example, when the young female elephant Champakali arrived pregnant at the Prince of Wales Zoo, elder elephant Damini took up the job of caring for her. According to zoo officials, when Champakali died giving birth, Damini began weeping. For days she refused to eat, and eventually she passed in her enclosure. Medically, the cause was starvation. But the truth is, Damini died of a broken heart. All right, guys, it is reflection time. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to take a moment to think. Have you ever seen an animal cry? And if so, why were they crying? Go ahead and pause the video and take a second to jot this down or to just really reflect on it, and then go ahead and proceed whenever you guys are ready. Understanding this basic need to feel pleasure or express sadness further supports emotions are natural reactions to the environment. Like humans, animals can have different reactions to death, separation, and loss. In the book When Elephants Weep, The Emotional Lives of Animals, the author discusses two huskies, the alpha female Maria and the alpha male Misha. When the owners gave away the alpha male, the female was heartbroken. Although she did not relinquish her duty as alpha female, she refused to bond or mate with any other male. The author stated, her behavior is reminiscent of humans' grief at a permanent separation and a loss of a loved one. Her behavior also highlights the perseverance seen in humans once a loved one passes and responsibilities take precedent over grief. Understanding this basic need to feel pleasure or express sadness further supports emotions are natural reactions to the environment. Overall, the findings in this science lesson highlight animals' ability to have accurate emotional responses to their environment, even without the aid of verbal communication. Together, we were able to see some relevant similarities in emotional expression between animals and humans. Let's review. Did we answer our focus questions? How do emotions show up in nature, and how do emotions show up in the human body? Yes, we did. We learned animals physically react to emotions by singing, laughing, and crying, just like humans. All right, guys, our lesson is complete and it is time to assign the homework. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to think about an animal that you most identify with and think about how that animal expresses their emotions. But you're not just going to think about it. You're going to go ahead and research this, whether you watch a YouTube video, a documentary, or you go grab a book about this animal. I want you to read about the natural behavior of this animal and see how these natural behaviors coincide or correlate or compare to your own. Now, you're going to keep these thoughts and whatever to yourself, but really journal through this and see where this thought process takes you. This type of critical thinking is how we're able to see ourselves and see our behaviors outside the realm of society and within the realm of nature. And that's the end of our lesson, guys. We're all out of time for now. Okay, don't all rush out at once. Make sure to set your alarms, guys, and stay in good health and high spirits. You're still here? Wait, let me give you this book before you go.